I just like purple and green, but then I heard purple doesn't really exist, so I guess I just like green.
Yo, so I've been thinking I wanted to start a playlist of synchronicities and intuition sort of stuff, and I've been sort of paying attention over the course of my life to these things when they happen, and just sort of take a mental note, but I've never really gone out of my way to document and keep track of all these things until recently, when I was like, you know what, there's a whole lot of little things going on, and just on its own you're like, yeah, that was cool, and you kind of forget about it, and then a little while later something else. And I just thought it would be interesting to keep track of these things, because individually they're kind of dismissible as whatever, but collectively I think they start to build out a picture of things which may be helpful to see, I guess. So yeah, just want to do maybe just one or two at a time, just to run through the lists and see how it turns out, because honestly I've forgotten everything really except for the most recent things. So yeah, I thought it would be cool, and to lighten things up a little bit after recent videos talking about some of the more not so enjoyable aspects of life. Yeah, anyway, just a couple for today. I wanted to call this like, it's just saved in my phone under Synchy, so if something happens and I find it noteworthy, I'll chuck it in a Synchy note with a tag on it so I can find it for later. But yeah, Syncy, I didn't know how to spell that, and it was kind of looking weird to write it. It's like it might not be understandable, so I kind of changed it to Synth Keys, just because I don't know, why not? Doesn't have to make sense, and it's probably on theme, because a lot of it, your mind sort of can't make heads or tails of it, and it's a bit beyond the usual sort of left brain, I suppose, rational side of life. So yeah, recently my mother has been visiting Victoria, and we'd been loosely organising to catch up to do something kind of important, and we keep in touch a fair bit by phone, and that is what it is. But recently, when she got into the area, I'd been doing a little bit of fasting, and basically was having a difficult time detoxing, and I would just be randomly passed out anywhere from 2 hours to 6 hours in the middle of the day, and my phone on silent sort of thing, and not much reception anyway. Yeah, so that was the context. This was just recently, and then yeah, one day I was just asleep, just woke up, and 2 minutes later Mum called, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? And like, realised my phone was ringing, like it wasn't making any sound, but I had a look and Mum was calling, so I answered and was able to connect through. And then I was like, oh, thank you. For like a solid 2 minutes before she called, I woke up from like basically a coma. So I didn't make any notes about that, but then it happened again. Yeah, I was not expecting any calls at any particular time or anything, and my phone was on silent again, and I wasn't expecting to get up and get ready for my day and then to pass out, but I felt so relaxed, and I was just like, well, why not have a nap? So I was fast asleep, and then the same thing happened again. I woke up for no particular reason, and like 2 minutes later Mum called, and I was able to notice that the phone was ringing and to answer it. So I think just one of those things on its own is not really noteworthy, but when it happens again, it's starting to stand out for me. So yeah, that's pretty much the first one. And then one other one, just to throw in, because that in itself is not super interesting or out of the ordinary. I was going for a cruise one day, heading somewhere, and stopped at this town to get some supplies of food and drinks and whatnot before I kept going. And I'd never been there before. So pulled into the main street, found the shops, saw the car park, and just immediately thought to myself, I do not want to park in that car park. I want to go across the road and further away into another car park and like just park on the grass under the shade of a tree, basically, to go into this shop. And just, I don't mind walking a little bit of a distance to do that. I didn't have to carry tons of stuff with me, sort of thing. And it was a hot day and no shade in the car park and so on and so forth. So these are all like practical, logical things you could use to explain it away. But what ended up happening is parked under this tree, went and did some shopping, and I was in like quite a state of shock at the time because of certain healing work I'd been doing with iodine, and I didn't have any words for it, so I went in and was paying for my stuff, and the checkout chick asked me how I was doing, and I sort of just looked and just sort of like, honestly, I have no idea, like I literally cannot explain anything at the moment. And she's just like, yeah, me too. I was like, what happened? She's like, oh, there was just a smash in the car park, a car smash. And yeah, she was super shaken up for some reason. I don't know what she saw or how she was involved, but she was back inside on the registers. And I walked out and past the car park, and there's cops everywhere, ambos everywhere, like all these families had turned up, and a young man, probably maybe early 20s, standing there in cuffs. So I gave him a nod. And yeah, it's like, how do you even have a car crash in a car park? No idea. But anyway, someone got hurt pretty bad. And there was a bit of weird energy around, obviously, just pretty tense. And someone, going off in an ambulance. So I walked back across the road and back to my car and jumped in and just basically said thank you for that intuition which I got, which said don't park in the car park, because literally 2 minutes later all hell was breaking loose over there. So there'll be people that can understand this and people that will refuse to see anything to it for this series of videos, and it's totally fine. Like, I don't think anyone should believe anything or make big deals out of things which are not a big deal. And like I said before, it's just a little thing, but when these little things sort of become normal and happen on a regular basis, I just find that interesting. So yeah, I'll leave it there, and I'll make a list and keep adding to it as I have time and energy. Peace.